Hey guys. So, I wanted to read this article that I seen on CNN. So, I was like, wait a minute, I gotta go hit up my subscribers. You know, I know most of you guys are probably at work. Today's actually a day off for me. So, I'm so glad. I work all these hours and, I barely, excuse me, sorry guys. And I barely ever, you know, have time to just sit down and go live. My kids are in school. Hey, hello, Exilius X. So I want to I want to read about this government thing that's going on with President Trump. So I got this article from CNN. It's from updated today, 7 a.m. Monday, January 14th, 2019. All right, you guys, like this thing is getting really serious right now. My damn tablet wants to be acting up. But okay, so it says in an interview with News on Saturday evening, Trump denied he was trying to conceal details of his dealings with Putin. I'm not keeping anything under wraps. I couldn't care less. I mean, it's so ridiculous. These people make it up, Trump says. All right, guys. So this is like him just being in denial about everything. But even though, there is proof that there's something going on that's suspicious. But the deeply reported accounts beg the question why Trump, given the knowledge that he has his campaign are being investigated for links to Russia, so often acts in a manner that sharpens suspicion about his ties to Moscow. There is also growing concern in Washington about the consequences of a situation where the Kremlin knows exactly what went on in Putin's meetings with Trump around the world, but his own top foreign policy aides do not. The situation is bound to raise new questions about Trump's past business relationships with Russia, whether the Kremlin was information that is being used to compromise the president, and may explain what often appears to be efforts to obstruct the investigation into his conduct. Of course, because he don't want to get impeached. He wants this power. I got him like new. Sorry guys, I got him like nice new scented candle. You know, just to brighten up the mood. So, sorry guys. I don't even know where I left off. Is this so annoying? Like everything that keeps happening, you know? So, if, as the White House says, Trump has no compromised relationship with Russia, why does he go out of his way, hide his interactions with Putin? Question mark. Does he perhaps not trust his own team not to leak details of their meetings? Of course. The latest reports are already exacerbating a fervor atmosphere in Washington, which is polarized over a government shutdown triggered by a dispute over Trump's border wall that is entering its fourth week. The possibility that the House Democrats could eventually seek to impeach the president has been reverberating presence in the Capitol for months. At the latest report about Trump and Russia will hardly calm down the mood. The Putin mystery. The White House is bitterly attacking the media over its coverage of Trump and Putin, most recently in a pair of statements by spokeswoman Sarah Sanders over the weekend, but neither the president nor his aides have ever offered an adequate explanation of why so much of the president says or does, from his praise to Putin, his denigration of U.S. intelligence agencies over their assessment of Russia election meddling in hostility to the U.S. allies, often favors the Kremlin. Okay, where there is so far no proof that Trump is under Russia's influence, such as a scenario, though stunning given he is the President of the United States, would help explain his policies so often seem to favor Moscow. Not the US, guys, but Moscow. This includes the hostility to NATO, his sudden announcement of US withdrawal from Syria that the Kremlin supports, his recent comment that the Soviet Union was justified in invading Afghanistan in 1979, as he would know, please, and willingness to accept Russia's version of election meddling allegations. Without proof, Trump believes Russia over everything because, him and President Putin, they're like besties. Like, they're like best friends forever. Yeah, that's them. God. Trump warmed toward authoritarian readers, disdain for international organizations, support for Britain exit from the European Union, and coolness toward liberal international democracy also helped further Putin's goals of discrediting the political institutions and credibility of the West. Even the chaos and the political polarization Trump has fomented in America fits Putin's desire to see the world's top democratic powers discredited and in turmoil, and may be a lasting payoff of Russia's activity in 2016. Okay, hearing this, guys? Some observers have seen such activity in itself as a form of collusion with Russia, a hostile power, in plain sight, even while Trump's team under investigation for alleged campaign transgressions. Alleged. Allegedly. So nobody gets sued. That's why they gotta throw that, but everybody knows. Everybody with a brain knows. The sorry. The new developments follow weeks of damage, revelation, and filming surrounding Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, which has revealed repeated links, okay, between Trump associates and Russia at the time when the Kremlin was running a 2016 intelligence operation to put Trump in office, and pattern of lying about these contacts. Okay. Let me drink my not healthy Pepsi. You're welcome, Pepsi. Free advertisement. Okay. The president has responded to the weekend's staggering reports by going on the attack again, denying there was any collusion between his campaign and Russia in 2016, and reacting to the reports that FBI investigated why the president was seeming to act in a way that benefits Russia after he fired the Bureau Director James Comey by alleging it is symptom of corruption and the nation's permanent law enforcement agency. Excuse me. No. You know why he fired that guy? He fired that guy because he knew that that guy was getting closer and closer to reveal the stuff that he needed to reveal, so Trump could get impeached, and Trump could actually go to jail, to prison, if all of these things come out to light. And he did it, okay? And that would be, I think, the first time the president of the United States gets incarcerated, okay, because of stealing the elections. Because if I am not mistaken, that is breaking the law in the worst way. Okay? But you people that did vote for him, this is what, now we're all suffering the consequences. Whether we voted for him or not, we suffer the consequence. So thank you so much for making us go through hell in the longest government shutdown in history. Okay, that's what Trump goes down for. Trump is gonna go in the history books for holding the longest damn freaking. This is crazy. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying. What do people think Trump is trying to do? Well, they're trying to prove that Trump is working on restoring the union with Russia and the U.S., even though it wouldn't be in the U.S. most benefit. So he's not looking out for our benefit. He's really looking out more for Russia's benefit. And they're saying that in a way that's kind of like a payment without paying, without actually exchanging money, just supporting Putin and all his, little wild things and making it look like, oh, it wasn't these people, that it was not their fault. It wasn't Russia's fault for, attacking this other country. No, it was the other country's fault and they made him whatever. Like they like to screw the words up and shit. It's annoying as hell. Okay. Okay, so when asked on Fox News Saturday about the Times report, Trump said, "It's the most insulting thing I've ever been asked," and claimed that he had probably been tougher on Russia than any other previous president. It's true that Trump administration has taken some steps that fit into authentically hardening policies towards Moscow. This includes sanctions against Russia for election meddling and approving the sale of lethal arms to Ukraine, a step the Obama administration did not take. But Trump owned facility toward Putin on show at the Helsinki. I don't know how to pronounce that country. Helsinki, sorry, summit last year often seemed to undermine his own administration policy. In the coming days, Democrats will try to block a move by the administration to ease sanctions against Oleg Deripaska, a Russian oligarch who is close to the Russian leader and is an associate of jailed former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Senior Democrats on Sunday painted the last developments into the Trump and Russia has gave turn into the investigation. They're readying a sweeping oversight effort into what happened in 2016 and Trump's personal and business relationship with Moscow. I think we're seeing these independent actions, even independent of Mueller, which is the lead up, and some of the rational about why this investigation started and why many Americans like myself have been concerned for so long, said Democratic Senator Mark Warner of Virginia on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday. Warner also raised the case of Konstantin. These names are like, whoa. Okay. I'm going to spell the last name. Kilimnik, which I believe is Kilimnik, a business associate of Manafort who is regarded as a Russian intelligence asset. A botched legal filing last week by Manafort's lawyers revealed that the former campaign chairman and had passed proprietary campaign data to Kilimnik. Trump legal team has played down the issue. Okay, so basically they're saying that there's things that were done by associates of the Russian of Putin, and Trump's legal team is trying to like downplay, like trying to make it seem like, oh, it didn't happen, or disregard it all together, to benefit Trump. Anyways, but the big unanswered question is whether the president was aware of Manafort's behavior, and or whether was he acting alone. So they don't know if Manafort was doing this by himself, or was he doing it under Trump's, you know, authority. There have been several other revelations that undermine the idea that there was no collusion between Trump and associates in Russia. They include the conversation between former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and Russia's to Washington during the presidential transition, the willingness of the president's son to meet Russian lawyer. I'm going to repeat that sentence, okay? The willingness of the president's son to meet a Russian lawyer in the hope of getting dirt on Hillary Clinton campaign also found suspicious, which I agree on that. Republicans shrug off latest bombshells. Of course they do. That's what they usually. It's not even. Anyways, there is an incredible divide between Washington, the rest of the country, when it comes to Bob Mueller and the Russian investigation. Texas Senator Ted Cruz said on NBC Meet the Press, the mainstream media of Washington is obsessed with it, and when you get outside the Beltway, I don't find anybody concerned with this at all. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson was not concerned at the implications of the Post report, which said Trump confiscated his interpreter's notes taken in his meetings with Putin and banned them from talking about what went on with the administration's officials. Oh my God. I'm going to read that shit again because seriously. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson was not concerned at the implications of the Post report, which said Trump confiscated his interpreter's notes taken in his meetings with Putin and banned them for talking about what went with other administration officials. There is not a traditional president. He has unorthodox means, but he is the president of the United States. It's pretty much up to him in terms of who he wants to read into his conversations with world leaders. That's just basic fact. Okay, that might be a basic fact, but still, if you're getting investigated, wouldn't you want, if you're not doing nothing that's not shiesty and dirty and not trying to double cross the United States, if you're really not working with Putin, wouldn't you want there to be proof by other people of your conversation so they could be like, no, this is not what the president was talking about. He did not, whatever the, rumors are. But he confiscated those notes so no one could ever know what was talked about. Like, I don't know what else does this country need for people to realize like that this president is a sham. He stole the elections. Like, whether you liked Hillary or not, if Hillary was president, we wouldn't be going through this shit. Even like, find an independent. You don't gotta vote. If you don't want to vote Democratic, you don't have to just vote Republican. You could look for a good independent person. Like, I really want to know who the hell's running this year. Sidebar. I really want to know who the fuck is gonna run, next year, because I really would freak out. Hey, Jose, nice to see you. Yeah, it is. This is all real crazy. And now it's like nobody wants to pay attention to what's the real problem too. Like right now they're talking about this, investigation, but they're not really gonna get far with President Trump blocking all the FBI's, way to get their proof. How they're gonna get proof when Trump is taking the notes and all of that stuff, and confiscating them. How are they going to get proof about Putin and him working together as allies? That's the thing. They're working together as allies. They're not, he's not looking for the best interest of the United States, in my opinion. He's not looking for what the United States, is. He's not looking for that. Like, he's looking for what benefits him as a person, and what, would benefit Putin as a person. They don't give a shit about their countries. The same way that Putin don't give a shit about his is the same way that Trump doesn't give a fuck about the United States. All he cares is about how is the rich people gonna stay rich and get richer. That's what the hell is the real deal, in my eyes. Okay. So, a South Carolina Senator, Lindsey Graham, strongly pushed back on the report that the FBI opened an investigation into why Trump was working in ways that seemed to benefit Russia. I find it astonishing, and to me, it writes me a lot about the people running for the FBI. I don't trust them as far as I throw them, Graham said on Fox News Sunday. The solidarity of the GOP Senate was a sign for that. Now, least of the intrigue has not shaken Trump hold on the Republican base over Russia, a foundation tended daily by conversations, media pundits who rarely let up their attack on Mueller. But that is not guaranteed. The political ground will shift when Mueller delivers his final report. All right, so that's it, guys. That was the report that I wanted to read to you guys. Thank you for whoever stayed and watched and heard this craziness, But yeah, it's crazy. This is what world we live in, you guys. Like, we're living in a world that we don't even know who's our president. We don't know who he really is inside. We don't know nothing about his character. The only thing we do know about his character is not good. He's a liar. He's been proven to be a liar. He's a scumbag. He treats women like we ain't nothing. If it was up to him, there would be no women senators. There would be no women. Women will not be empowered. And that's straight up. Thank you, Jose. Thank you so much. I'm trying. I'm trying to, grow up in here and just grow my own skills. And, I want to bring different content. I don't want to only bring, hip-hop, gossip and stuff. I like to also bring real world things that are happening right now, because they're affecting all of us. It's not only affecting, senators and things. No, like, I'm talking about, I feel bad for these people that work for the government right now, and they're like stuck. They're feeling stuck. They can't leave their job. That's what they want to do. They want to serve their country. And then, on the other hand, they got to feed their kids. And right now, there's a government shutdown, the longest one that's been in history. And nothing's getting done because of the stupid border wall. Because you want to keep the Mexicans out. Like, in the way he is, like, about... For me, I feel like when he says Mexicans, he just means Latinos, Hispanics. That's what he really wants to be. He considers all of us one kind. That says a lot about a person. Like, dude, we're all different cultures. Like, what is wrong with you? And everybody that's crossing that border is not crossing that border because they're criminals and no, that's not true. This land has been built on immigrants. Okay? Like, for real, it's so annoying. Like, I'm Puerto Rican. So we have that civilian thing, whatever. We're communists or whatever the fuck you want to call us. So we don't got to worry about deportation and stuff. But I feel bad for, like, my cousin. She's half Puerto Rican and she's half Puerto Rican and she's half Honduran. And her dad right now is facing this problem. This is a real life deal. This is real life things. This is real life drama that happens to a lot of families. This man is a hardworking man. My cousin's dad, he's a mechanic. He works hard every day. He pays his taxes, because there is ways to file for, do your little tax things, even though you don't have your documents all in file. But because he's married to his wife that is Puerto Rican, that that will make him a citizen, but because things with paperwork didn't file right, and they're going through this whole problem right now. Like, he could also, if she would have to go, and get her husband on there, like, and make everything legit, because they're married legit, but I guess something about their documents weren't in order right, and the dates wasn't, things wasn't filed on time, so he could have a risk of being deported. That will break my cousin's heart. Like, he's a great dad. He's not a freaking criminal. Like, he's nothing bad. And they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care if he's not a criminal, he's never been arrested, nothing. No, they would still take him like if he was a criminal and lock him up into some deportation center, treat them like fucking like criminals, and like have them all basically behind bars, like for what? For working hard to try to get the American dream? Nah, like, I don't stand by this. And I don't know how there's people in this world that could sit here and could watch this shit go down. And, I mean, here in the United States, and could watch how these people are literally tearing families apart, literally taking babies from their parents right at the border because, oh, what the hell? Yo, this is like ridiculously sad. I'm like, and this is happening to a lot of families, a lot of the Hispanic and Latino families. We are going through this. It's really freaking heartbreaking when you see somebody that's working really hard and just messes up with one paperwork, and then he has the risk of getting deportated. Hopefully to God, everything looks like it's gonna work out for them. But sometimes it doesn't work out for people, and they're ripping families apart. And these are not a criminal person. These are not criminal people. These are people that work hard, that do, all these freaking jobs, and they stay working 14, 15-hour days. And for what? For them to get deported like there's some criminals, like they don't deserve to be here. This land was built on people that were immigrants. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. And I hope to God, I be praying all the time that we get rid of Trump, guys, because this isn't good. This isn't good for none of us. For none of us. It's not good for anybody at all. At all. Like my little New York accent that comes out of nowhere. But you guys, okay, I'm going to let you go. Have a beautiful day. And, I hope you liked the article I read. And when I find other articles, I'll be back and I'll read some articles up in here, go live. If y'all ever got questions, I can answer them. If you don't want to know anything about me, you can ask me. I'll answer. I'm pretty okay with things. Just don't freaking troll me, please. I hate that. Like, don't be jerks. Have your opinion, say your opinion, but you don't gotta dog me out to do it. Let's be good, human, kind people. That's what I want. Well, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. This is Jasmine. Thank you for watching me. Love ya.